Okay, so I was really struggling with this and constantly going back and forth over whether I actually wanted to make this video. On good days I was like, yeah, absolutely, this needs to be talked about, and then on bad days I was like, no way, people are gonna hate me, I'll lose subs, I'll get shitty comments, and I don't want that. Obviously, you know, nobody really wants that. But it was sort of my New Year's resolution, I suppose, to be unashamedly myself. And if subs matter to me more than helping people, then I'm in this for all the wrong reasons. A lot of people here already probably know, but I am transgender. I was assigned female at birth and I transitioned to male. A lot of my earlier subs came to this channel because I did used to make videos about being trans on this channel before I took them down, and anybody who has sort of come to my channel from Team Lucid Dream may have seen the Testosterone and Dreams video that I made where I basically came out. So this video is looking at lucid dreaming as a way to explore gender and sexuality. When I first started to realise that something wasn't quite right and I wasn't comfortable with myself, I had a lot of conflicting feelings. I actually had a lot of transphobic views. Not that I hated trans people or anything, but I guess I was very ignorant in my views, and the way that society had portrayed trans people gave me this sort of very negative opinion about them. You know, a lot of my beliefs were very problematic, they were very harmful. I used to kind of think it was quite disgusting, which, you know, obviously I don't think now. But the idea I had of trans people was that whole, you know, man in a dress trope that is quite common and is really hurtful, to be honest. So I started learning about lucid dreaming perhaps 6 months after I realised that I was trans. And at that point I'd come to accept it, but I hadn't come out yet and I was still living as female. I knew that transitioning was right for me, but obviously it was still a massive decision to make. And here in the UK, you have to live full-time as your preferred gender before they will consider giving you hormones. So that means, you know, name change, coming out to friends and family, you know, just living well, for me, living as male. I'm not sure if that is the standard still, but at the time, that's definitely what you had to do. So it would have been a long time before I could medically transition, but the thought of socially transitioning was much scarier. You know, coming out, living as male, having to change my name and stuff like that were all massive decisions. But lucid dreaming actually really helped me here because I could use my dream time to experiment with living as and being perceived as male. I could change my appearance to get an idea of what I would look like further down the line, and this helped to alleviate a lot of the dysphoria I was feeling about my body, because I had this little period during the night where I could experience myself in a male body, and as well as having this physical representation, I also got to experiment with socialization as male. It was really hard for me to come out of my shell in the waking world because I was seen and socialized as female. So here was a space where I not only had the look, but I was able to interact with my surroundings and the dream characters from a male perspective and have the dream characters respond to me as such. So basically, you know, I had this little simulator where I could exist as male before I did in the waking world. And that helped me a lot, you know, that helped me to realise that I truly was more comfortable as male. I was clearly more confident that way. And it helped me to move forward in my actual transition. And I realised that lucid dreaming kind of gives you a chance to explore yourself, not necessarily just in terms of gender, but, you know, you have this playground almost where you can experiment and search and find who you are, you know, and in that space, you know, it's completely safe and you are not judged. There are no repercussions or consequences to anything, which is a great way to explore all aspects of yourself and your personality and things like that, and particularly with, you know, sexuality. So for me, you know, I am able to experience having anatomy that I wasn't born with. And that's really interesting because this is kind of an awkward thing to talk about if people who know me in real life are watching, but then that means I can have lucid sex with male anatomy. But you know, I can experience sex like that and have sex with both male and female characters with a willy. Let's put it like that. And also it's really good because you know, like I'm primarily attracted to men. I've never been in a physical relationship with a woman. I'm not sure if I would. There are lots of women that I find really attractive, but I primarily prefer being with males. But then this kind of gives me a chance to experiment with what it would be like to be in a physical relationship with a woman. And I think for a lot of people who are questioning their sexuality, this is like a good place for you to, again, experiment with that without feeling like you're going to be judged, without any consequences of it. You know, you have that freedom to figure those things out. And I guess if you're not comfortable searching for those things in the waking world, you have the opportunity to do it here. You have the opportunity to learn a lot about yourself, to find what feels comfortable, to find what feels right. It's a great way to... I apologise. It's a great way for you to just find out who you are. Now, I'm kind of a bit, like, cautious here because, like I say, I imagine the majority of you watching aren't interested in this topic, and maybe you feel grossed out by it. Maybe you're just not willing to open your mind to it, and you know, that's really a shame if I do lose subs over this. I hope that I don't. And just to anticipate any comments that do pop up, right? If I get another person saying to me that I'm mentally unwell for being trans, first and foremost, they won't let you transition if you are mentally unstable, right? Like, you can't just wake up one day and go, oh, you know what, I think I'd be happier if I was a man. Yeah, I'm gonna be a man. Oh, yeah, I'll just go to the doctors and just fucking get some surgery and get a penis. It doesn't work like that, okay? You know, you have to be assessed. You have to go through therapy to make sure you actually are trans. It's a bit of a fucked up system, to be honest, but you have to. It's seen from a very medical perspective. So, for example, I had to be diagnosed as having gender dysphoria in order to get the right treatment for me to transition. So if people say that you're mentally ill, well, you actually have to be mentally stable for them to give you hormones and for you to transition. So I'm just getting that one out of the way before I get a comment like that. But yes, I mean, that's kind of all I have to say on this subject. Is if you are struggling with finding your identity, any aspect of your identity, if you are struggling with sexuality and figuring out who you are there, then lucid dreaming is a great opportunity for you to do that, for you to explore those things. You know, I think a lot of people probably won't admit that they've done different experiments in their lucid dreams, like sexuality wise. I imagine there probably are a lot of straight cisgender blokes who have perhaps had sex with other men in their dreams, but they won't admit to it because, hey, there's a lot of stigma around that shit. But yeah, that's, you know, I honestly think that, as with my mental health stuff, you know, lucid dreaming has helped in so many ways that I wouldn't have even, like, known about, you know, like, before I started on this journey. So, I mean, that's it, guys. I must admit, when this video uploads, I'm going to be shitting it. I'm going to be scared of what people say. But as I said, you know, I'm not gonna censor myself. I'm not gonna hold back. If I'm just doing this for the views and the likes and the praise, then, you know, I'm not doing the right thing. So thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna leave it there, I hope to see you in my next video. Remember, Wednesdays and Sundays is when I put out videos. You can also catch me on Team Lucid Dream. I will leave links to that YouTube channel below. And as always guys, I'll see you in the next video.